Hello, faculty. Welcome to Creating a Quiz, Part 2. So we've created our quiz assignment as you saw in the previous video. Now we are at the test bank area or the test builder area where we are going to create questions and test prompts. One of the questions I get from faculty is, hey, can we upload a test bank from a publisher? At this time, in this version, no, we cannot. So, you should have an idea of how you want to organize your quiz. If you're going to have a true-false section, multiple choice section, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to create those. You are at default of section 1. Anytime you see the pencil, that means you can edit. So right now I'm going to edit this section 1 name. And I'm going to call it True-False section. If you want to put instructions here, you can. Please answer these questions to the best of your ability, whether true or false. Down below, you can choose regular for the type or pool. So let's say that you are going to have 10 true-false questions in this section. But maybe you only want to have a pool of questions, so you can choose 5. So I'm going to have 10 questions that I'm going to create in this section, and I want 5 to actually be pooled onto the test. And I can assign a point value for each one of these questions at 10 points each, or 5 points, or 2 points. I can also give this section a time limit if I wanted to. Typically, on a test, when you have time on tasks, a good rule of thumb is to use a minute per multiple choice question, 30 seconds to 45 seconds for a true-false question, and then you can decide if you wanted to have a time limit on fill in the blank or essay questions. Each one of those would require a different time limit as well. Okay? So for this example, I'm going to say no time limit because I've already put a 10-minute time limit on the actual test itself, as you saw when I created in the first video. I'm going to leave this as a pool. I want 5 questions out of 10. They're going to be 10 points each, and I can save this section. So now I'm going to add another section. So I'm going to call this multiple choice section. And again, I could put specific directions in here on how I'm going to form this. You know, this is your multiple choice section. Please choose the best answer out of the choices selected, etc., whatever directions you want to put in there. And again, I could do regular, so I could have all of them in here, or I could pool questions. And I could give, again, 5 questions out of 10, and I could say these are going to be worth 10 points each, right? And again, I could give a time limit on this, but in this instance, I've already given a time limit for the quiz, so I'm not going to limit this section. I can save this section. So now I have 2 sections, true, false, and multiple choice. And let's just say I'm going to add a 3rd section. I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to call this essay. Again, I can put whatever directions in here that I want to as far as the students. Please answer the question to the best of your ability, etc., etc. And I'm going to leave this as regular because I'm only going to have 1 question in here, or you might have 3. Again, with question order, I didn't cover this in the last 2 examples. You can have the static questions are given in the order listed in the test builder, or random questions are shuffled into a random order for each student. I'm actually going to go back and edit those 2 previous sections because I want them all to be random. So when I have random questions and I randomly select the sections, that means each student will have a different number 1. They may start off with a number 1 as a true-false question, whereas the next door neighbor who might be cheating over their shoulder might start off with a number 2 or number 1 question as a multiple choice. So again, when we talked about time limits and cheating and static and random, all of those factors go into play to help a student be as honest as they possibly can during a test. So you can choose random. I'm not going to give a time limit, but let's say I want to make this extra credit. Then I can choose to make this section extra credit. Okay? Secondly, I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit because I want to make this random. So I have pool. And, oh, actually, because it's doing a pool, I can't do random. If I were doing a regular question, all of the questions in this section are going to be given to all of the students, then I could actually choose static or random. But in this instance, I'm going to do pool. So they'll have a different one anyway. So 5, 10, I believe is what I said. Okay, so now I have 3 questions. True, false, multiple choice, and essay. And you can see I said this one was going to be extra credit, right? So now let's add a question. So I'm going to start down here with the essay question. I'm going to add a question. The question label, if you leave this blank, the system will automatically put in the first 3 or 4 words of your sentence. So I actually usually leave them blank. Please tell me about your summer plans. Okay, I'm just typing in questions here. You, of course, will have something specific to your curriculum. So I'm going to leave this as my question. I'm going to assign it a point value. It's 10 points. And here is where I choose what I want to do. This is an essay. So this is the answer type. So here we have the question. Here we have the answer type. So what kind of question is this going to be? Well, this is going to be an essay question. So I choose essay. And I can preview this question to see what it's going to look like. And this is what it looks like. Please tell me about your summer plans. And then here's the area that the student fills in their answer. So I can hit close and I can hit save and return to Test Builder. So now I have one question. You can see this was the question name. Please tell me about your summer. And it's just the first several words of the sentence. You could give it a label if you wanted to, but I usually just leave it with whatever it defaults to. So let's go and add some multiple choice questions. All right, so let's add a question. And I'm just going to type in question number 1. You would put in whatever the topic is here. And remember, this is multiple choice section. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to leave it as multiple choice. And I'm just going to put answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, answer 4. And what I do like about this is I can actually choose all of the above or none of the above, right? But I have to choose something that's correct. So in this instance, I'm going to say none of the above is correct. I can randomize all of my answers to be in a randomized order, which again, this is very good practice. And I can give partial credit. If they had more than one answer that was going to be correct, you can give partial credit. You can also limit the sections or selections. So now I'm going to preview this question. Oh, question number 1. Here's answer 1. And you see how they're in a different order, right? So this is not in the same order that I put them in because it's randomizing. We chose randomize all regular options, right? So each student will get a different order of answers or none of the above. It's at the bottom. This is perfect. I want to do this. Let me add another question. This is going to be question number 2. And it's multiple choice. So we're going to have answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, answer 4. And in this instance, we're going to choose answer 3 to be the correct answer. I'm also going to randomize this and I'm going to preview. Look, you can see how it's question number 2 and we have our answers that are in a different order. I'm going to save and add another one. This is going to be, question number 3. And we're going to keep doing this multiple choice because we're in the multiple choice section. Answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and answer 4. And in this instance, number 1 is going to be the correct answer. I want to randomize all of my answers. I'm going to preview the question. Answer 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all in different orders. I'm going to hit close. Okay, so then we will save and add another. Question number 4. Again, we have multiple choice answers here. You get the gist of how this works. Correct. I'm just going to leave this with 3. We're going to correct 1, and we're going to randomize the answers. Again, if I preview the questions, you can see them here, and now I'm going to be done with this one section. Okay. So we have a multiple choice section with several questions. I didn't create all 5 questions, but you get the point on how to create those questions. Now let's go and create a couple of questions for our true false section. So I'm going to add a question. Again, we're just going to call this true false number 1. Okay. We're going to choose true false out of this list. And it defaults to a true answer, but in this area is where you would put the actual question or statement. All right, so true false question number 1. And again, you can choose true or false. So we're going to say false. I'm going to preview this question. Here's my question. Students get to choose true or false. Close. I'm going to go ahead and return to the test builder. And you can see we have, pretend we have 5 questions for our 10 questions for our true false session, 10 questions for multiple choice, and our essay question. So this is kind of how we would just go through and choose to do these tests. Again, you've got a time limit here for 10 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. And this is what you've done. You can create more sections, you can add more questions, and you can even preview the entire test if you would like to. So if you remember in our first video, we actually said to show 1 question per page, and that's exactly what's happening. We have 6 questions. It's going to be 50 points. Time limit is 50. Got 9 minutes remaining. Here's 1 question. Here's my next one. It's a multiple choice question. And you can see this was question number 4, so it's not even the first one. So it randomizes and shuffles sections and questions and answers. So this is a great way to help prevent students from cheating and help keep them honest. To get back into your assignment, you just click on the hyperlink underneath this. It goes right back to the test overview where we were a few moments ago. And you can get back into coursework by clicking there as well. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any other additional questions, please reach out to me.